What is up, everybody, and welcome to the show. Uh, Sorry we're coming at you late tonight. Was booked. You know how it is, or maybe you don't, but you'll figure it out how to, or you'll figure out what to do to get you there. At any rate, I'm your host, the Saint. It has been one hell of a weekend. It's been a hell of a week in professional wrestling too. So let's not even get started on what we dealt with this weekend because this weekend's been straight up insane. However, when you look at the landscape of professional wrestling today and what has gone on, good lord, my hair is all jacked up. This thing's got it all going. It's running wild, guys. It's running wild. Hairomania is running wild on you, but you know, Hairomania didn't obviously run wild on Hogan because he ain't have no damn hair. Um, at any rate, biggest news of the week. It's a tie. What do you guys think is bigger? The Usos breaking the tag team record, or do you believe that the NWA heavyweight champion is Tyrus? Which one do you guys think? You out there, my viewers, my listeners. What do you think's bigger? The fact that Tyrus is your NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, or the fact that the Usos are breaking a tag team record? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna make an adjustment here. Oh God, yes, yeah, so much better. I understand it's now more pasty and pale and white. I don't care. That light's not shining brightly in my face, and I'm fucking thankful for it. Okay. So let's see here. We've got some comments. My brother has chimed in. What's up, Joe? Nothing much, man. Just sitting back listening. Hey, you're a good one to ask this because you followed the NWA way back in the heyday. So I'm asking, what do you think is bigger, or what do you think is better? The NWA, or you're saying the Usos? You believe the Usos is a bigger deal. What do you think of Tyrus as the NWA heavyweight champion? That's a hell of a question. Let's see here. Young Mr. Fury, how are you? Bro, I got your message. I'll do what I can. I got here at I got home at like 7:15. I had to do the dinner thing, and like I'm here now. Like I had to I just got my stuff out of my bag. It's why my gear bag's open. I just got my camera and my headset out. Okay? It's been a huge thing on the road this weekend. Let's see here. Scott Larson, hashtag truth, chimed in to say Tyrus is the man, but both are awesome. Okay. The Usos, Ray Dean. That ain't Ray Dean. You know who that's Ray Cole. That's Ray Cole. The Usos, much more important. Not a Tyrus fan. He works on Fox News, so hard pass. I don't give a two shits where anybody works. Dude, I haven't watched the news since probably 3 months before the last election for president. So, yeah, there. That's it. That's how that is. Um, oh God, it's gonna get deep in here tonight. It's gonna get deep in here tonight. So, Ray, while I appreciate what you're trying to convey with that, I don't really care. Um, Tyrus isn't a bad he an absolute trash worker, but I mean he's not the worst worker I've ever seen on television. We can go with that. He's not the worst I've ever seen on TV. Um, and get paid an insane amount of money. Joe also said yes, and oh, you think Tyrus will be great at this? I don't know, man. I think that's part of the reason that Nick Aldis left or and wanted to shit on the product. He didn't like the idea of a Nick Aldis or a Tyrus being their heavyweight champion. Trevor Murdoch, I would go as far to say Trevor Murdoch and deserving that title and busting his ass in this industry as long as he has. Tyrus, hey, I don't know. I haven't watched much of the NWA stuff as of late. I just really haven't. So, uh, my brother Brino Royce chimed in. He Mr. Consigliere. How you doing this evening, sir? Hope everything is good. Let's see here. What is this? I had to answer a message that was sent my way, so pardon me for that one. Let's see here. These young guys today are set up to be awesome. Hey, man, look, to a degree, I agree with that, but at some point, you got to look at it as you have your classic wrestling, you have the WWE style, you have the NWA style, you got the AEW style, you got the Impact style, you got all these different variables. Now, you saying that the young guys today are set up to be awesome? No, kind of. And you say here that they appreciate the way that has been paid for them. I'm going to kind of agree with that. And here's what I mean. So at some point, you do run into the guys who are grateful for what came before them and they appreciate it and they let everybody know that. Now, when it comes to uh, a handful of these young guys are just inconsiderate and don't give a damn about the past because they believe the future is the only thing that matters. If it wasn't for the past that was paid before them, they wouldn't have a future. Trevor Murdoch was their heavyweight champion, sir. Trevor Murdoch was their heavyweight champ. He Tyrus lost it to him. Is the way that went down. Unless this was like he got it because Cardona got hurt or whatever. So that's been a couple of months. This is, I believe, it's his second run, with that title. Let's see. The NWA style is better to me, dude. The old school NWA style, yeah. This new, I'm not all aboard on the new product yet. There's some things that I think need to be improved. In ring, bell to bell, yeah, it's fine. As far as their television production, no. I don't like a pay per view only thing. TNA Impact didn't do bad under that. But when you've got, you know, at least a regular television channel, that would be fine. I could see that being a thing. Um, Someone like Theory is an ass clown. I mean, Austin Theory in the Indies was better than Austin Theory on TV, but that's goes to say with a lot of things. And Austin Theory on the Indies was also younger, crazier, and trying to get signed. So there's a whole big deal with that, that that you have to keep in mind. When these guys are on the Indies, they go batshit crazy. There's no joke about it. I see it almost every day. I see it all the time that these guys go insane on indie shows. Um, Watch me Thursday night, and I will go over just a multitude of things Thursday night. Myself and my guest for Thursday night is Bill Hazelwood. Uh, we're going to discuss two wrestling shows that we both worked together this weekend. Then I'll be joined by Eric Nelson, the owner of Stranglehold Championship Wrestling, and we'll be talking about an upcoming event with him in February of 2023. Now, with that being said, I don't I don't discredit Tyrus. I'm not gonna say he's garbage. Hey, look here. It's written Tyrus is fucking trash. He's garbage. Hey, look, Garbagino. Hey, look, or Garbaggio, whatever. Hey, look, I haven't seen his work in a long time, so I can't tell you where he is. If that makes anything better. And yeah, everyone does have an opinion. Um, so let's see here. There, like I said, man, it's just a lot of different stuff when it comes to today's product versus yesterday's product. I didn't grow up watching the NWA. I grew up watching old school WWF. Taker and Hogan and Warrior and Hart and Michaels. Back then, Brutus the Barber, Beefcake, and all that. I grew up with that. Rick Rude, Jake the Snake. That was my coming of age into. That was my introduction into this. When you look at what the product was then versus what the product is now, it's two vastly different things. They all back then presented pretty much the same thing. You had your kind of hokey stuff, you had your kind of carny stuff, you had your kind of gimmicky stuff, you had your wrestling. It was all there. there was something for everybody. Now, when you watch certain shows, you get the New York style on WWF, you get the indie style on like AEW, you get ECW when you watch Impact Wrestling, and then you get a kind of I don't want to call it a half-assed attempt at NWA style, but you get a Dollar General version of what the NWA used to be. In my opinion, that's my opinion. You get a Dollar General style of what the NWA used to be. Yes, it's a huge difference, and you're welcome. Yes, exactly, because my brother got me into this. Legitimately, ladies and gentlemen, that is my older brother, and has been all my life. I promise. So if you got the joke, great. If you didn't get the joke, rewind like 30 seconds and try again. Um, if it goes over your head again, I'm sorry, but I can't help you. I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, or proctologist. I am of no assistance to you. So, um, let's see here. Give me one. Let's see here. It's not hardcore enough, too much choreography. That's my issue with dude, I've got to get this phone out of here. Um uh to the person sending me a private message at the moment, if you're listening, I will get that stuff to you. I'll get you the information in a non-disclosed format. You and I can have a conversation. Just let me get off air first. I I will tell you what's up. Um, let's see here. The choreography thing. All right, let's touch on that. All the matches in WWE have agents, producers, writers, all that jazz thrown in there, right? Every, everybody knows the deal. This is way beyond the era where fans weren't smart or fans weren't hip to the. Everybody's in on the joke now, so the hard part is suspending that. Trying to suspend the disbelief or suspend belief that you know everything and what's going on. That's the hard part of today's product. Social media and pictures, and I'm glad that these guys are using things like parking garages when they're getting in and out of vehicles, and everybody's vehicles blacked out to the nines, and you can't see who's in the car with who. Great. You have to think this is also a business, and they need to be freaking economical. You need to be logical here. Um, Now, with that being said, the NWA product did travel, and they went down to, I think they were in Texas or something or Louisiana somewhere for this show. Hard Times, their Hard Times 3 pay-per-view. Now, with that being said, I mean, it was all over Bobby Fulton's page, one half of the Fantastics. Uh, I know Bobby, and he was like, well, "Yeah, I'm traveling. We're heading. I'm heading down. I get to be there." And that's great, and I love the nostalgia hit. I love the fact that they're trying to do more with it. I just want to see it on a television channel instead of the internet pay-per-view thing. The IPPV TV deal is not ideal for your average watcher. And I'm not what most people would consider an average watcher because I consume more than 12 hours of this shit off of television a week. While balancing everything else. Bro, Bolton was great. Just bring your ass down here. I'll introduce you to a bunch of people. Ben told you that. Um, I was like, just come for a visit and we'll go for a ride. We can be at Bobby's in less than 3 hours, bro. Ain't no bullshit there. What's this? Brandon, Chuck Brown, what's up, dude? We talking wrestling. We talking the big leagues. Um, but man, when you look at the things like how the NWA is conveyed, even even in the public eye, a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, it's owned by Billy Corgan. He's a rock star." Well, he has name notoriety, so that kind of makes it a draw. But at the same time, with that being said, some people believe that that is the reason it's doing anything it's doing is because of that. My thing is, you have you have all the history, you have the lineage. You know, it's a legacy. That company itself is a living legacy. It's a it's a dynasty, and to not capitalize on every market that you could with it is kind of obscene to me. I would have a regular TV deal. People say they don't watch TV like they used to. They don't. But the trick of the trade with that becomes there's the YouTube hits, the streaming revenue, and all these other things. There is a lot of money in it still. And just because your weekly ratings don't show you that doesn't mean anything. Weekly ratings are not the same thing they were 15 and 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. You have piracy to equate for. So there's a percentage that's lost. You have all the streaming services. Are they being counted? You have, with the Hulu or the individual cable company, whether it be Xfinity or Spectrum or whoever, they've got their own streaming platforms. So you have all that. Then you have your cable boxes. Are every one of them being monitored? I've been in the cable industry nearly 20 years, and I can tell you from personal experience in 20 years in and out of houses, I've seen one box with the logo and icon and the shit built into it. That was the tracking thing for Nielsen ratings. I've seen one in all that time. So I have no idea how Nielsen gets their ratings. One box, 20 years of doing this. So I mean, you think about how many cable boxes I've seen and touched in my lifetime. Anyway, why are we, why is the guy so dead set against a TV deal? Does he have faith in his product or not? If you have faith in it, you keep going with it. I.e., look here, I have faith in what I do with this show. I have faith in what I do out there in the ring with all that gear, whether it be in the ring, on the outside of the ring, in the back, wherever. I bet on myself. And that's what a lot of people need to learn to do is bet on themselves. So Brandon Chuck Brown, he said, who do you think going to beat Roman Reigns? Now, my brother chimed in and said, I think Drew McIntyre will. I don't think Drew McIntyre is going to be the one to dethrone him. If I had to write it to make it seem how it went, Cody wins the Rumble. Cody wins at Mania. Guys, we need to realize one thing. Roman Reigns has been battling leukemia since he was a young man, whether adolescent, teenager, kid, whatever you want to call him. He's been battling leukemia 20 plus years. Okay. Just because it goes into remission doesn't mean it's gone. Just because cancer goes into remission don't mean it's gone. The cells are always there. So he's already working a part-time schedule. This likely will be, I'm not going to say it's his last run at all. I am likely saying that this is going to be his last meaningful title thing. They're giving him this. Well, they're not giving him this. He fucking earned this. The people that say, oh, Roman Reigns was handed this on, so no bullshit. Tell me the guy didn't work for it, and I'm going to call you a liar to your face. I'm sorry, but that's completely irrational. The dude has busted his ass in the gym and in the ring. Was he a 5 moves of doom guy? But look at history. Hogan was the same way. Warrior was the same way. If you watch one Ric Flair match, you've watched them all. It's the same thing with a different formula over and over and over again. Austin was the same. The Rock was the same. You see what I mean? Were they exciting? Yeah, they were exciting. Roman Reigns just put on an absolute classic with a dude who had 3, with that being his 3rd match in history. But because it was Roman Reigns, people want to show. No, dude. Y'all need to put some respect on the tribal chief's name and acknowledge him because there's no way you're going to convince people that he didn't earn this shit. And then that's not taking anything away from Logan Paul either because, yeah, you want to have a great dance, you got to have a great dance partner. Case in point, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's a really good wrestler. He does not have very many good matches. My favorite match with him was the one with him and Johnny Knoxville at Mania. I thought it was fun. I thought it was hilarious. That's the trick, though. If you wanted to see a classic come out of him, you need to go back and look at him and Kevin Owens, him and Neville, or as you want to call him now, the bastard Pac or Pac or whatever. I don't, that guy. Go look at that. Those were awesome matchups, right? He had a great dance partner. I look at the stuff Neville Pac does now, and I'm like, all right, it's the same flips over and over again. Right on. It doesn't do anything because there's no story to the flip. It's almost as if they don't know how to build to the moment. When you light a firecracker, right, or firework, or you hit the button for the mortars or whatever, it doesn't immediately go off, right? It shoots way up, and then it goes, it pops in the air, and it does all the crazy stuff. But there's always that build to every last one of them fireworks. So the same should happen in wrestling. There should be a very similar cadence that these things follow to get to that point. All right, we got a big comment. Kylan Disney. If I was Billy Corgan, I will cash in on the controversy with Aldis. He already started to. Controversy still creates cash. God, Eric Bischoff did teach you folks here in the South something. If it's a true shoot, but feelings to the side and make money. The same with the Elite and CM Punk. It's all about putting as many butts in the seats, which makes everybody's wallets fat. Hey, look, you're not wrong. Um, let me unpackage the whole thing. Billy Corgan did an interview on Busted Open Radio. If you didn't hear it, I suggest you go check it out because it's really worth listening to. They talk about, Aldis's comments, and he had a rebuttal for everything, but are we going to hear a rebuttal from Aldis about this? I have met Nick. I was the camera guy for Nick and Thomas Latimer. Um, yeah, I met them. They seemed like cool people. Does that mean that's how they are conducting business? I have no idea. Um, I I don't know. The thing of it is, Corrigan stated that, oh, you're now seeing the Nick Aldis you were told about. According to Billy Corgan, Nick Aldis is the dickhead behind the scenes. He's a very pain in the ass guy in the locker room. He's very hard to deal with. I don't know any of that to be factual. A lot of other people I've talked to are like, nah, Nick is like just super easy to deal with. Then they bring up the whole Mickey James thing. Was Mickey James really, butthurt about how it went with this? And Corrigan was like, I put all this money into this. How could y'all say I didn't have faith in it? Or go listen to Corrigan talk on Busted Open Radio. It was a great interview and very informative. If you don't know, that's worth listening to. Busted Open and normally it's pretty decent. I'm a big Bully Ray fan, so like I'm excited to see him in Impact. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, nobody wants to see this, and who cares?" Dude, the guy is a great worker and absolutely unsung when it comes to professional wrestling. As a singles competitor, he does not get the credit he deserves whatsoever for being as good as he is. He can tell a great story. He's a very smart individual, uh, and I really don't care if he's as people say out of shape. He can still knock the shit out of most people. So like, who cares? Um, you ain't got to be in the greatest of shape to be a dominant force in a professional wrestling ring. Um, Let's see here. Jim Mike did say, "I can't stand Reigns, but you are correct." Well, I mean, I try to be. That's kind of the point of this. Is you got to try to be right. If you can't be right on your own show, talking your own shit, where can you ever be right then? Um, and I'm only right because it's an opinion, right? It's only my opinion. As I said, I think this is going to be like the last great run you get out of Roman Reigns. He's probably going to pop in and out for the next 10 to 15 years. Who knows if he's going to stick around full time? The guy, the guy's earned his stripes, man. And anybody that doesn't agree that he's earned his stripes, that's a lot of people who, you know, a lot of people got negative stuff to say, man, because of who he is and how he got there. But you need to take into consideration that when it comes to it, that family is as synonymous with professional wrestling as any other family in the history of this business. You can't say the Von Erichs or the Harts without saying the Anoa'i or however you pronounce it. You can't do that. They are as synonymous as every other family in this industry. Period. Whether you want to talk you want to talk McMahon, it's there. You know, who else has got a great legacy in family? Rhodes is only on second generation. Oh Jesus! No, nobody's saying he's the greatest of all time. That's the gimmick. Okay, that's the gimmick. That's the God mode, right? That's God mode. But on on any platform, greatest of all time is going to be very subjective. That's going to be a very personally based opinion. Okay, Orton. Orton's getting up there on that. I'm a big Orton fan, dude. I see you laughing, bro. Listen, I'm freaking tired. I just got like literally. All right, it was in the 50-degree area today. I'll give you guys a little bit of today. Okay, it was in the early 50s, low 50s today. My daughter and I left at 11 a.m. Went to a wrestling show. We're there. I had to work. She was hanging out. We didn't leave until after 6 p.m. So we were outside the entire time. It's been a long day. Your boy's tired. That's why the show's late tonight. I normally don't go on at 8 o'clock at night during Sunday because I don't want to give that platform time slot anything because Sundays at this time of night, we're watching a pay per view from WWE or another wrestling company. So I don't want to do that. I don't think that's a wise decision for me to be right here. Unless I was doing a pay per view watch along, which I've done in the past, I may or may not jump into doing one of those again. I don't know. Um, there's so much work. People don't realize how much work it is to sit there and watch TV for 3 hours and have a conversation with folks about it. But it's one of those things where I've seen it done. I've done it. I just don't know if I wanted to invest that amount of time into it. I'm happy investing, my time into this show and my time on Thursday night. But as far as that, watch alongs, they're they're hard because I like to get up and move around, and I'm always cooking or making something while I'm watching shows. So it's like it's very awkward. So just keep that stuff in mind, man. So let's see here. Good God, phone is going insane tonight. Um, all right. So let's see here. Let's see. I gotta send a quick. Oh, here we go. Here we go. That's comment. It is hard unless you have a panel to comment back and forth. I've thought about doing that. I may have to. I may try that one time and see how that goes and see what's up. Let's see here. Even McMahon has mastered the art of making money with controversy. I would not have Rock versus Reigns at Mania in case Rock becomes champ and sticks around. a part-time champion is no good. Dude, I as long as they don't split the belts, I'm fine. I don't want there to be two heavyweight title or two world's titles or universal titles or heavyweight titles or company. I don't want that anymore. Right now, we are in the best era we have seen since Attitude, maybe Ruthless Aggression when it comes to the mid card titles, your United States and your Intercontinental title. You want to bring back another one? Bring back cruiserweight or light heavyweight or junior heavyweight or whatever. Bring those in. That would give something for guys like the Ricochets and the Mustafa Ali's and the guys like that. That would give those guys something to go after. Having them having to challenge some of the best workers on the planet in, Walter or Gunther, having them challenge him. I don't even want to get in the ring to announce that big motherfucker. Fuck that. Because if that dude hits me, I'm dead. Like, it's over. Game over. Then you got Seth Rollins, like, arguably, at least now in his current style, he's arguably one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet today. Your opinion, who is the greatest you have ever seen? I am likely going to hurt people's feelings with this. I'm going to have to go with if I'm not including promo, it's Randy Orton. If I'm not including promo, it's Randy Orton. Actually, you know what? No, I'll nix that. It's Randy Orton. Randy Orton is arguably, in my opinion, one of the greatest professional wrestlers, period, ever. I mean, if you're talking about organically, though, you have to think about this. I didn't see Bret Hart start. I didn't see Shawn Michaels start. I didn't see Stunning Steve Austin start. I didn't see Hulk Hogan start, for God's sakes. From start to finish, start to now, it's the only other name that came to mind with me was Edge, was Adam fucking Copeland. It's the only other person. And one of those things where, dude, I think Edge is better promo, but Edge's style cost him in the long run, right? That's my opinion. Dude, other than the fact that Bret Hart was a charismatic vacuum black hole, I loved watching Bret Hart work. He was not very charismatic. His matches were very technical and very good. He was a fantastic wrestler. Angle, Angle's up there for me. I get that you saw Bret Hart from beginning to end. I get that. But like with me, Bret Hart was not a very good promo. Ever. He was abysmal on a microphone. Abysmal on the microphone. It took Orton forever to get to where he is on the microphone now. Flair was better on the mic. He was a very charismatic person, and his in-ring work was great. There's no denying that. I'm just not going to say that, but Flair was before my time. Just in wrestling? Dude, just in wrestling? Yeah. In just wrestling, Bret Hart's fine. But, I mean, if you wanted to go just wrestling, you could also go Chris Benoit. You could go Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is a fantastic wrestler. Steve Austin before he got hurt. You could go with him. You could go. Oh my God! You want to talk storytellers? If you don't mention Jake the Snake Roberts as a storyteller, you're out of your freaking mind. Jake Roberts was a god among men when it came to telling a story. His promos were just so good. And the delivery made you have to be quiet and focus on what he was saying. So that way you could absorb it and knew the importance of it. That's how it was. Jake was a phenomenal wrestler too. As long as he wasn't stoned, he was a great wrestler in the ring. Cody or Dusty Rhodes, charismatic as all get out, not very athletic, still a great wrestler. You know, it doesn't have to be one. Eddie Guerrero is not it for me. Eddie Guerrero ain't it for me. Um, I I really do believe, and you know, I hope I don't get canceled or massacred for this, but it is what it is. In my estimation, when it comes to Eddie Guerrero, here's the thing: I believe that a whole lot more people are, oh, how great Eddie Guerrero was because he died. Whereas if he was still alive today, you might not be having that same feeling. But because he's gone, and you know the same could be said for Benoit. There's a lot of people now who say the same thing about Benoit. Is it the same way? You know, I believe that there's a little bit of that rose tinted glasses in there. You know, the rose colored glasses or whatever that statement or adage is. Is it adage? Adbitch? Adwitch? I don't know. Whatever that thing. Yeah. Uh, but there's so there's so many people, man. Um, Wrestled Alex Kane, dude. I've heard great things about that guy. He wrestles for MLW, and Gazi got to work him. Badass, man. You do it again, cool. Let's see. What was this? I love they're putting mid card belt back to the luster they used to have. Exactly. That was my point. That's why I don't want to see a full time heavyweight champion. I don't want to see. Was it fun seeing Austin and Rock and all every week? Yeah, it was cool. But at the same time, we're watching it not do that in AEW right now. We're seeing that not work. So why would I want the WWE to follow a business plan or a marketing strategy that's not working? It's not working now. Why would I want to see that company do it? I don't want to see any company do it. I think it's a horrible idea because the proof is in the pudding. It ain't fucking working. You can have vignettes. You can have your guy come out and do other stuff, but putting the title on the line every week is just, it's not there. It doesn't have the same, it's the television title at that point. You know, it's defended more than your mid card or lower tier titles. Why? Why is that more important? Why? How is that more important? It doesn't make it more important. It does not make sense. I'm I have tried to quantify. I've tried to make it make sense. I can't make it make any sense in my head ever. Um, was it fun in the Attitude Era? Yeah, but the Attitude Era was the only thing going. Was like you were looking at two companies competing against each other, and they were both going insane with their shit. Right back then, WCW was really going off with the NWO. You know, and you always knew Hogan was going to weasel out of whatever he was doing because he was the WCW champion for an eon, is what it felt like. Um, but here we are now. We're here today. We're in this day and age, and it's not the same because that whole complex has been watered down. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Oh, thank heaven, that's some good coffee. Um, because yeah, um, where the hell did that thing go? I had that thing. There it is. I got it. So let's get back on topic here, guys. Let's get back on topic. Rhodes versus Reigns at Mania. Rhodes goes over. Reigns takes a vacation. Rollins feud picks up from there. I disagree. I disagree. I disagree. For right now, for right now, we need to have we need to have Rollins and Rhodes away from each other. Here's the thing. Okay, Nick Aldis did receive a offer from the AEW, but he declined and kept his word and kept with the NWA. Now, with all this crazy shit that's gone on, do y'all think Nick Aldis got an offer from AEW, Impact, or even the WWE? Personal opinion. Personal opinion. I would love to see Rhodes and Aldis going at it again for that title because they went after. Was it the NWA title, or was it the Sorry, my feet itch. That's why my screen's jumping all crazy. Or was it the Ring of Honor thing? They were doing it with Ring of Honor and on All Out was there, or was it All In, or whatever the hell they called that thing when they first started the AEW. That's that shit right there that matters to me. That's that stuff. There's a few moves that have probably knocked me through a loop. His head and arm suplex. I needed a second. Oh damn. Let's see here. I always loved the Guerrero matches. He had the promo ability and the technical wrestling style. His promo developed in WWE, but that was even in his later time in WWE. That wasn't in the early portion of that of his WWE run. Because he was nothing but a cruiserweight, and they didn't do much with him. It wasn't until they let him show some personality, later on down the line that he eventually even got over. Once or twice a month is good. Yeah, see, I'm down with that. I'm fine with them competing at house shows or whatever, to stay sharp. I'm fine with them competing in dark matches after Raw's gone off the air, after SmackDown's gone off the air. That's fine. But I don't need to see them on as a fan who's sitting at home. When you see it every week, day after day, show after show, and they're defending the title over and over and over again, why are we there? It's like it's just oh well, yeah, it's another day at the funny farm. It's Groundhog's Day again. Where somebody get Bill Murray on the phone. We got a gimmick problem. They're playing Groundhog's Day every Wednesday because they're defending the title against somebody that, how the hell did they earn that shot? Every week. Same shit. That's my problem. You didn't see his start. You didn't see Guerrero in WCW? Dude, you live in the South. It's like the most backwards ass thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I know you've been around a while. Look, either way, I think Aldis signs to WWE and they rekindle Nick Aldis could be the next great challenger for Cody after Cody wins at Mania. There could be a lot of things here. There could be a lot of things here. Oh, you were a WWE guy. See, I was as well. I was a WWF guy. What in the hell what's Texas? What is Texas? Can Tyrus carry the NWA title? Because when you give a person a title, you're telling them you trust him to carry the company. He's going to carry the title to Fox News and set it on the table or wear it every day while he's sitting there talking politics. It's going to get the company over, I guess. Okay. Eddie started in Texas. I thought Eddie started in Mexico, but okay. Because no, dude, he started when he was a teenager in Mexico, didn't he? Because of his dad, right? Chavo Sr.? Chavo Sr. ran, I could have swore he ran one in Mexico City, Mexico. But I could be wrong. There's a lot of, that's a Rey Mysterio question, to be fair. I think Rey Mysterio would be probably like the guy to know all the details there. But either way, Usos and New Day are today's Steamboat and Flair. Okay, that's the level of that matchup. You can book that 8 days a week, have a different result every day. Nobody's going to be mad about it. Nobody's going to be upset. They're all going to be down with that. Well, yeah, but he got his name in Texas. Well, he probably got his he probably got a good he probably gained good ground there. Not a lot of people, at least here in the states, pay a lot of attention to wrestling that happens in other countries. Now I do like watching some of the UK stuff. I don't watch much of the Japan stuff, even though according to what I'm seeing, I am definitely a fan of the Japanese stuff because when I go to a wrestling show, that's how I act too. I, I mainly sit on my hand. I don't get loud and ridiculous and do all that. If something's funny, I'm gonna laugh, but I don't go bananas at wrestling shows. I never have. I'm always one of those people who's sitting there analyzing it or watching it, and 'cause I'm trying to see the whole picture as opposed to just what's in front of me. I get my joy from watching my kids go nuts about it. I think that's probably the happy part of it. Um, a man told me today. A man said, "Hey, Ron, is that your youngin?" I said, "Yes, sir, it is. That's my little girl." He walked up to her and he said, "What's your name, sweetheart?" And she said, "Well, my name's Elizabeth." He said, "Well, I'm such and such." And he said, "It's very nice to meet you." And then he went off about his merry way, and I'm still over there working on the computer because I'm trying to get these videos loaded. He comes back and he said, "Well, little Ron, young Ron Emerson is what he called my daughter." He said, "Hey," he looked at me and said, "Hey, brother, listen, do you know what daughters are?" And I said, "What's that, bud?" He said, "Daughters are God's gift to us because they are our lifelong best friends." And I looked back over there at both of them because he's standing there with my daughter. He's standing there and she's sitting down, and she kind of looks over at me like, "Oh, that was cool," and I'm just like, "You're right, man. Thank you. That's my road partner, man. My daughter and I run the roads harder than anybody else because we're we're hitting towns. You got to make the town, baby. You got to do all this shit, man. Fucking ass clowns. Let's block this person, and oh yeah, we got it. That one was blocked. But that was said to me, and man, he's right. He's damn right. Um, like I say, we're not naming names. We're not doing dumb shit here. We're just saying, he was right when he said, daughters are God's gift to fathers as their lifelong best friend. And man, they got that right. But I mean, that's kids, period, ain't it? Daddy's girls and mama's boys. Isn't that the way it is most of the time? I don't know. But I mean, in my case, it's definitely daddy's girl. She loves riding the road. She loves going to all these different towns and seeing all these different shows. And she sees some of the same people. She's like, but this one is different because he's here, but he's not the same as he is when we were over there. And I'm like, you're in a different place, baby. Just because you know them, it doesn't mean it's the same show. It's a different company, different everything. In your case, it's daddy's boys. Yeah, bro, you got all boys, but yeah, that you know of, you got all boys. Um, but I mean, I think it's cool that you know my daughter can sit there and understand what she's watching on TV. That's why I know, dude. I know it's four. I can, for the most part, remember your kids' names kind of on command. Um, yeah, I got them all. There we go. All four of them. I was being facetious when I said that we know of. It's just the boys that we know of. Ha ha, funny, funny. Do you get it? Do you get it? Oh, hey, look, he got it. He said LOL. Yeah, see, you got it. Oh my god. Whew. Anyway, so when it comes to like Monday Night Raw this week, you know, we saw Austin Theory attempt to cash in and fail. Why? Why did we see this? What sense did this make? There was a lot to it. Oh, um, yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Was it horrible or was it super smart? Give me a second. You're gonna love this. You're going to love this. If Austin Theory cashed in on a mid card title and lost the Money in the Bank briefcase, which is what happened, what has everybody done since then? Talked about it, bitched and complained, and how stupid was this? Go look in the mirror. Go see the hook in your cheek. Cause you were got. Hook, line, sinker, boat, motor, trailer, pickup truck, the whole fucking thing is gone. They took you all for a ride. You all just went for the ride. It makes sense for them to do it this way. That was the coffin nail into the Vince McMahon era right there. That's what that was. Uh, Tony Stark just said Operation Clean Slate or Clean Slate Protocol or whatever, and all the suits blow up. Bam, 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 bam. Fired. Just trash everywhere. That's that. That's gone. Now we can see if he organically get in that position. It worked when Vince was there because Vince was there. It didn't work when Vince was gone because Vince was gone. Vince was part of the Austin Theory story. So now, when part of your book is missing, you gotta start a new one. That's what makes the most sense. So, haha, I found it funny. I'm not a big Theory fan. I didn't travel to Georgia much. I now am. But at any rate, so I didn't know the guy prior to the NXT, the WWE, so on and so forth. Had I heard of him? Yeah, I'd heard of him, but that Jesus God, do you know how many people I hear from? I'm gonna pull this comment. I'm gonna pull this comment. Look, he has ability, but he's not ready. I agree with that. I think he's way more capable than what we're seeing on there. But at the same time, I don't I don't like his finish at all. I think A Town Down is a shit show. I don't like the move. It's a weird go to sleep with a. It's like a go to sleep F5. I don't like the finish. I can't stand it. So, is he a good wrestler? Yeah, he's fine on the microphone. He's the eye candy for the ladies. He's the package, right? Austin Theory is the package. I don't. I hate his finisher, and I'm with my brother on this. I don't think he's ready, dude. That's the point of it, though. Like that's the point. He sucks. He's hard to look at. His face and haircut. That's the point, dude. That's the whole point. Is Johnny Gargano a better wrestler than Austin Theory? Yeah, he is. Austin Theory is that size that they're famous for when it comes to that product. The larger size guys, you know, the days of Hart and Austin and Michaels aren't that was a great run. But I mean, Triple H is no small man. The Rock isn't small either. These are the things you need to keep in mind. Oh God! All right, I'll get Timothy. I will come to that one later. Kylan Disney asked me, "Who is your Mount Rushmore of wrestling and why?" Automatic Taker, automatic Undertaker. The period best period gimmick period in period professional period wrestling period history period ever period. You can't thwart that. There's nothing. Best wrestling gimmick ever. Undertaker. Best wrestling career ever. In my book. Undertaker. I think the Undertaker's the guy. The one. That one. For that. Randy Orton. Big Randy Orton guy. For everything he went through and overcame and still became one of the all-time greats, Shawn Michaels. Last person I got to put on there. We've had Undertaker. We've had Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton. Do I want to say Cena or do I want to say Austin? Austin's career was cut short, but man, was he unbelievable. Man, that's a hard one. I hate to say, I don't hate to say Cena. I got no problem with Cena. Out of the 5 moves of doom guys that were out there, Warrior, Hogan, Reigns, Cena. I'm gonna have to go. You know what? I'm gonna put Cena on my Mount Rushmore instead of Austin. And Austin was a very, very big reason for me being a professional wrestling fan, as well as uh, probably a big inspiration to how I act. Let's see if that worked. But so that's kind of where I'm at with my Mount Rushmore and why. Cena, everything he's done for the business over the last 20 years. Orton, arguably, in my opinion, GOAT, greatest of all time. Um, Shawn Michaels for everything he's done in this industry and continues to do as a mentor and teacher and developing of the future of this business. Um, and the Undertaker. I'm pretty satisfied with that. I've always been a bigger WWE guy, so that works for me. Um, nope, no Flair. I can't say Flair, dude. All right, so let me fix this. Mount Rushmore's only got 4 faces on it, dude. 4. So you gotta delete one of them. And in my book, out of your list, I'm deleting Snuka out of that. Um, that's my opinion. The arrogance isn't a problem. It's not the arrogance. I don't like his finisher, but that's me. Um, but the arrogance thing is a persona. Dude, MJF is like just super popular, and his arrogance is above and beyond anybody else's. Um, if the Titanic was going today and across the ocean, and MJF was swimming, his ego could sink that bitch. Like, no lie, 100%. That happens. Um, let's see here. Hitman and Flair. I got you. And Ricky Morton, dude. I like Ricky anyway. Um, nice guy. Um, and dude, he was just like, whatever you do, baby. that's that's Ricky Morton in a nutshell. 1 second. Mm, there we go. Coffee's gone. So Ricky Morton in a nutshell was like this. Oh, oh, okay. You tell him and son, whatever you do, baby, whatever you do. All right, thank you. Ricky Morton's like the easiest person ever to deal with. I swear to God, he was easier to deal with than half the wrestlers on the Indies I deal with. Like, whatever you do, baby, here's the numbers. This is all you need. Yes, sir. I hope to do you proud. That's it. um, let's see here. Well, if you've been there, then why did you put 5 names on a list of 4 people? Fix that. You feel me? If you know his wife Andre, I never met her. I don't know his wife, dude. Um. Everyone puts 5 on their Mount Rushmore. Why? Why do people put 5 on their? Is the Undertaker an automatic? If the Undertaker is an automatic on the Mount Rushmore, then yeah, add Austin. But if not, why do people put 5 names on a freaking thing that has 4? Make that make sense to me. I'm Jesus Christ. I don't run a political podcast. That's why. Because there's room on the rock, my guy. Dude, I thought at first I read that as there's room for the rock. So I was like, the rock's not on my at all. Um, yeah, if I and I will go ahead and handle that. I'm not going to say anything, and I normally delete the political things because of if you say something political, you're going to alienate half your fan base. I work with way too many people on a daily basis in the regular world and every weekend in my fun world to where I can alienate you without talking about politics. But if you really wanted me to fucking hurt feelings, then yeah, we could do that too. Um, maybe after wrestling, I'll get into politics. Maybe after wrestling, I'll do that. But as long as I'm in wrestling, no, I'm not going to. I'm not going to do one or the other. There's it. Too much shit happens. I know. I actually shared that picture with that. I saw where you guys had visited Scott Hall. Which which oh wait, no, don't say it. Don't say it on air. Don't do that. If you want to text me and tell me privately where he was, that's fine, but don't put that on air, please. For the love of God, let's not do that. I don't want to do that. I actually, if you did that in here, I would delete it before anybody got the chance to read it. Um, or at least I would hope I would. There's some things that need to be kept sacred. Okay. Um, yeah. So either way, um, like I said, I sent that picture to a couple people where it was like, hey man, look, I just figured y'all should see this. Couple people that I'm tight with, I sent it to them, but beyond that, I didn't really tell anybody about that. Um, I may have mentioned it, but I didn't, didn't stooge it off or whatever. There was a question up here. and I'm going to address this. Does Punk come back? Why not? Um, there's no reason. Yeah, okay, you're right, but that's Google, and that's the individual person going and looking for that information. That's not me delivering the information. Um, one person's response is, "Who cares?" So a lot of people do. A lot of people care what Punk does. I have not been impressed with his run in AEW. His return was, yeah, one of the loudest reactions you ever got. Of course, the building and the acoustic have a lot to do with it. Because if that had happened in front of 100,000 people at Texas Stadium or whatever at WrestleMania, you wouldn't have heard it because the building's open. It's or it's got a dome roof or whatever, and the sound isn't the same. A lot of that pop and reaction and shit are relative. Um, WrestleMania, you may as well talk about Danhausen. At least he's put the work in. I'm not a. I think Danhausen's entertaining. I think he's a decent wrestler. I get what they're going for. Is it delivering? I don't know. I have no idea. Um, but either way, see here. Does Punk come back? Yeah, I don't see. I don't see why he would not come back. Um, there's a there's enough of a market for him. They they would be stupid not to capitalize on the controversy that occurred. If anything, uh, Punk could show back up and screw MJF from winning the title. Punk could show up and screw John Moxley out of the title. Um, Punk doesn't need to show up and get involved in the title picture at all. Punk could show up and face a Hangman Adam Page. Hey, look, you know what? Why not? Why not have Punk versus Cabana? Why not? Here we go. In my opinion, AEW is doing too much in a short amount of time. I think if I was AEW, I would have CM Punk rob MJF from the title. So, do you mean prevent him from that, or uh, whatever? Punk would be a good opponent for Rollins. Mm, I don't look. He's already tarnished his legacy enough to where if he never comes back, I'm fine with it. In the end, it's whatever he wants to do. I don't care. Um, but in my opinion, his AEW run tarnished his legacy in professional wrestling. I believe the shit that he did in Ring of Honor with Raven was his best work of his career. The story he ran with Jeff Hardy was awesome. The Summer of Punk was great. All good things. None of this. I'm not a hangman guy, but all right. So look at it this way: there's 3 buckshot lariats. There's CM Punk's. Then there's Hangman Adam Page's. Then there's Logan Paul's. And he went like this to everybody who didn't think that they could didn't think he was worth it. He did Buckshot's move better than Punk or Buckshot did, in my opinion. Um, I'm one of those people, man. Hey, if you're listening, the person that just sent me that message, if you're listening out there right now, that's better than what the fuck we had going at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock tonight. That's better than than what we had going then. So it's an improvement. I wouldn't mind seeing this. I wouldn't mind seeing it myself. I think it'd be more fun. Um, CM Punk versus MJF, pass the torch to MJF. That's good. All right, Wesley, MJF is cashing that chip in. When you cash in the chip, does that mean you have to cash it in at an if like is it like Money in the Bank where you can run in and challenge, or is it you gotta actually challenge somebody and say, "Hey, my chips, I'm cashing in. We're gonna go on this day." Which way is it? Um, the only time that ever happened was Cena, and it didn't work. Um, let's see. I agree with the AEW remark though. AEW doing a bit too much. I don't. You have to have continuity in your story, and things need to make sense for people to get invested in them. So that becomes a whole new ball game, right? Um, I mean, the pipe bombs were good in WWE, but that's about it. Nah, dude, he was. Some of his matches were even good back then. The all right, the straight edge society got over organically. They gave him so much bad shit to deal with, and everything they gave him, he kept turning it into money. That's not wrong. The tag team with him and Kofi Kingston, they just kept doing random stuff with him because they didn't know how to use him. They didn't know what to do with a guy like that. They didn't understand what to do with an indie darling, essentially, in my book. Which is, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, they were indie star, they were the indie stars. That was their thing. For them to get used like that is like, wow, it's hard for them to put them in there against guys like Rock or Roman and make it look legit. When you get a Lesnar versus a Cena, yeah, okay, the world makes sense, right? You get Lesnar and Orton or Orton and Cena or whatever, any combination of that mess, you're gonna have, what you're used to seeing. But when you bring in somebody from the indies, even they did well with Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins transitioned really quickly, right? He went from the indies to Ring of Honor to the E. Punk was indies, Ring of Honor, indies, uh, TNA. He was kind of dabbling, right? The Hardy Boys went from the indies into um, the WWF, right into the Attitude Era. So I mean, that's where it's at. I think it's hilarious. All the trolls on the internet is talking Punk and WWE. Once again, I'm just gonna say never say never. I'm just gonna say I don't want to see it. If he shows up, great, cool. Um, I hope it works. I hope it's decent. I would, in my opinion, and this is gonna really, really ruffle feathers. I would even be fine with Punk coming back to the E, talking his way all the way up and getting in Paul Heyman shit, and then ending up challenging Roman to lose to Roman. That would be fine with me. Like that would be par for the fucking course for how they handle business. He's handled business, and they go moving forward. I think that would be great. I think that'd be like the best you could do is have him go immediately after Roman, get his ass beat, and then poof, back in line. That makes entire sense. You're not going to have Bray Wyatt going after anything anytime soon. The sheer fact that we're getting Bray Wyatt and LA Knight is not okay with me. I am not okay with that because I like LA Knight. I really think that LA Knight has something to offer. Um, Leslie says, "Who, in your opinion, had a better career, Daniel Bryan or CM Punk?" Uh, CM Punk had a better career, in my opinion, and I say that because Daniel Bryan is the better wrestler. Yes, and I don't mean yes. I just mean yes, as in yes. Daniel Bryan is the better wrestler in my book. But as far as time on top, being that top guy, being the draw, the money, Punk. Punk had the better career. Um, Monetarily, at least, Punk had the better career. Um, so that's my opinion. Dude, that would be awesome. Exactly. It would be awesome because I think it would make sense. It would fit the current build and it would make sense. Timothy Godfrey, what's a troll this mark? I'm not familiar with it. Oh, well, see, a troll is so when you're out in the ocean and you're fishing, what's happening is normally the boat's moving a little bit and it's dragging the bait and they call that trolling. We do it up north for rockfish, or as y'all down here might call them striped bass or porkers or some weird shit. But up in Maryland, we call them rockfish. And you go trolling for rockfish. You know, we got these big old baits called bucktails and all, and these lengthy ass grub worms that's about yay big, and they swing like this through the water, and so that's that. Um, so trolling would be to troll would be to fish for a reaction. That's a troll. Now a mark. How would I describe a mark to you? Oh, well, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So a mark would be no, 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 no. A croaker, Wesley. A croaker is not a rockfish. A croaker is a croaker or a hardhead. A rockfish is a striped bass. Two completely different fish in VA. Trust me, I fished the same water you are talking about. I I took the boat to Virginia. Trust me. I swear. A croaker is a hardhead. A rockfish is a striped bass. Two different animals, buddy. I promise. Um, I've eaten enough of both of them to tell you. Because dude, I would feel like a 2.5. I'd fill one of the big ass Ziploc freezer bags. I'd fill 2.5 of them bitches a night when I went out fishing for croaker. Easy. Hardhead, croaker, whatever. Um, then when you say mark, all right, so a mark. You know how like I've got you people in here timing in here? Um, like man, I've got these people in here and they're trying to get their shit in and they're trying to get their comment picked up and they're trying to have a conversation. You're a mark. Um, but I love you though. Because you're my buddy. But one more question, and I'm out. How was QT Marshall? Well, so, I'm not going to go into too many details. He was doing a seminar where he was teaching a bunch of our friends in the independent scene. Different things. They would do a mock up and they would talk about you, whatever, whatever. So I'm testing out my camera rig because I'm doing videography for the night for the show. And so I've got my camera up, and mainly what I'm trying to find out is my speaker wire hooked up right? Is my microphone in the right spot? Is everything good? So I'm just kind of wandering around and moving and stretching out and stuff. And he looks over and I was like, "Oh shit!" And he said, "Nah, I'm saying some things that I said, sir. It's already deleted. Thank you." And that was the end of it. That was other than that, dude. I'm just lucky I didn't get hit. when he got kicked, I, I'm just look at it and get hicked. How about this? I'll make it all fun for you. Tune in on Thursday night and you'll get to hear about the QT Marshall experience. There you go. There are wait, here we go. Um am I kayfabing us? I kayfabing you. Elaborate. How would I be kayfabing us? How would I be kayfabing you? Would that be or did I not give you the Iggy? Or are you talking Gaga? What are we dealing with here? Um, they're absolutely two different starting what's fighting right now, and that's what's fighting Virginia. Oh yeah, no. Um, you don't troll for Croaker, bro. I'm saying you troll for Rockfish. Croaker, you normally just I never trolled for Croaker. I always caught them with one line, one sinker, two hooks, and they were on. Um, never had to mess with that. And Timothy said that's two questions, duh. Right? I know. This guy. He's just trying to get his shit in. Kayfabe about fishing. No, dude, I'm legit. I'm for real. My brother's in here. Ask him. Like, he'll tell you. There was like one thing I liked to do when I was younger, and that was go fishing. And then when I was broke and poor and jobless, that's how I ate for a very good portion of a year. Was fish because they were free, and so was the bait because the bait was the was the damn uh, crabs I would catch, and let's say they were the wrong size. The fish don't know whether it's the right size or the wrong size. Cut that bitch in a piece and throw it on the hook and send it out there and get you some. That was it. No, this is Ron. Yeah, I guess I have no idea. Anyway, um, peace out. Good night, Kylan. Take it easy, buddy. Where were you at this weekend? Two wrestling shows, and you no showed me. How dare you, sir? I am shocked and appalled, but I'm not Paul. So, what's this? He ain't joking. See, he knows I'm not bullshitting you. Because he was there. Let's see here. Oh, that was a bad decision. Oh well. Um, man, Impact Wrestling is still looking good. For those of you who are not giving Impact a chance, I'm sorry, but you really need to. Some of the better storylines are taking place on Impact. I'm not the biggest fan. It looks like ECW, but it looks like the crowd's growing, so I'm down with that. I saw their crowd size the other day, and instead of looking like 35, it looked like 200 or 300. So I was like, hell yeah, this looks way better. Um, dude, there was some great shows. Timmy, you'll have to tune in or Thursday to hear more about them. I'm not covering them tonight, but myself and my guest, Mr. Bill Hazelwood, will cover them on Thursday night. Um, yeah. Let's see. Who did I get to see? Caleb with a K, George South, Lodi, QT Marshall, Zicky Dice, um, Zane Riley. Uh, who else was on that line? I want to say there was somebody next to George. Hmm. I don't remember who was next to George. And then Lodi, I think, was over by himself. But yeah, like they were all there on the one show. Then the other show was just independent wrestling royalty for us. Our our plethora of guys that were around were there for that one. But at any rate, it is coming up on the end of the show, guys. Appreciate y'all watching. Thanks a million. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. You know, tell your friends, tell your kids, tell your girlfriend or tell your wife, but don't tell them at the same time. As Bill Hazelwood always says, don't tell both of them about this. Um, I don't need any weird shit in the parking lot. Um, but I appreciate all of you. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been real. It's been fun. And hell yeah, man, it's been real fun. We'll see you next time, Thursday night, Indy Spotlight, thus proclaimed. The Saint.